Mr. President, as Israel's war with Hamas drags into another month, I know it can feel hopeless to know that with every passing day, the chances that we'll get the hostages home safely are dwindling. But above all, we must not abandon them. We must not abandon hope. We must tell their stories and do everything we can to bring them home. I recently met a woman, Yarden. Her little sister, Romi, is a hostage. She said that early on in the morning of October 7th, she woke up to the sound of her sister's phone call. At first, Yarden was confused. She knew her sister was supposed to be having the time of her life at the Nova Music Festival. Instead, Romi was calling her, scared to death. She said a lot of missiles were being fired, but there was no shelter at the open-air festival. Romi and her best friend, Gaia, tried to drive away, but they got stuck in a traffic jam. Suddenly, they saw people shouting and running. Get out of the car. There are terrorists. Run for your lives. They hid in a bush as gunshots sounded. Over the phone, Yarden asked Romi if there were police anywhere around her. Yes, Romi whispered. There's one policeman. Just one policeman facing a multitude of terrorists. Another friend, Ben, came to rescue the girls with his car, and the group began to drive away, picking up another man, Ophir. For 10 minutes, the group thought they would be safe, but then Romi called her mother. She said, Mom, we were ambushed. They are shooting at us. Ben is most likely dead. Gaia was shot and she's not responding. Ophir is wounded badly. I was shot in my arm. If no one comes quickly, I will be dead. Romi was on the phone with her mother and sister for 4.5 hours that day, including at the moment she was captured. Her family says that she has asthma and chronic sinusitis, and they worry that she could be struggling to breathe without her inhaler. They worry that her gunshot wound is not being properly treated, and they're worried that she doesn't have food, fresh water, or air. Romi's sister, Yarden, says she gets nauseated when she thinks about her sister. She gets nauseated when she uses the bathroom or takes a shower because she doesn't know whether her sister can do that safely. She misses Romi desperately and describes her as a magnificent young woman, a natural leader and an advocate for justice. Romi loves dancing and traveling and hanging out with her friends. Her family says that everyone who meets her falls in love with her immediately, that she is her family's private sunshine and the glue that holds them together. Romi, like all the people still in Hamas captivity, deserves to live her life to the fullest. She deserves to have her story told. And so we have to keep telling it and never abandon hope for her, her family, or for the thousands of other lives that have been affected by this horrific, horrific crisis. I yield the floor.